Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome to the show, everyone. I hope you're having an amazing day, and I appreciate you leaning in and always look forward to this time of connection, of pausing together in the busyness of life to think about what matters most to us, to allow ourselves to be nourished, to be poured into so we can be equipped and empowered to live our life on purpose and with purpose. So thank you for joining us today. We have two amazing experts that are going to support us in how to really take center stage of our life in several different areas today. I'm really looking forward to mixing this particular group of experts together so that we can really powerfully learn how to be center stage in our life. And we don't mean this in a selfish way. It's this really fully being who we are and being willing to shine in that. I find so often we can go along and we're really good at putting others first. We can be really good at taking the back of the stage or treating life almost like it's a dress rehearsal. I'm not fully showing up, but kind of going through the motions or operating in autopilot. And before we know it, time has just passed by and we didn't really show up as the star that we are. So today we want to look at this subject, and we're looking at this through the summer because we really want to help each of you become that amazing, bright, shining star that you are. Because I believe that's the greatest gift you can give the world. There's only one of you. There's no one else just like you that has your gift, your talents, your abilities, your strengths, your maybe not strengths, your quirks, all of the you-ness that you are the gift. There's no one else just like you. And when we hold back, when we shrink back, or we keep getting ready to get ready, or someday I'll do that, someday I'll be that, and we're not honoring and celebrating who we are and sharing that, the world misses out. So I want to help you shine powerfully, bring the amazing gift of who you are to the world. And that's our focus this summer. It's to really lean in, take a breath, and just check in. Are we holding back a little bit? Maybe in our health? Maybe in things that we're not dealing with. Perhaps we're shrinking back a little bit. Maybe some of you have experienced a loss and aren't sure how to shine in that, to navigate and still be who you are and showing up powerfully in that, in grief and loss, in your mind, in your body, in your spirit, and in your health. These are the things we're going to focus on today. We're going to be talking about grief. How do we show up in that and honor that? What does that look like and feel like? How do we do that? And in our health, maybe we keep adding that New Year's resolution to the list, and it keeps ending up there every year, and you find yourself at the same place, I should say, that there may have been an up and down cycle during the year, but you kind of keep ending up at this same place, and you're getting stuck, and it's become a challenge or difficult to be how you want to be in the health arena. And so we're going to talk about that today as well. And I'm going to approach our conversation around how can we show up and share the gift of who we are. So I want to look at our conversation about showing up powerfully in our life from those three perspectives today. So let's just pause for a moment. Take a breath as we prepare ourselves, because I want you to get the most out of today. You're investing your time and your energy to be with us today, so I want you fully present, ready to receive. Not distracted and not trying to get some other things done on the side, but really listening and tuning in. Those of you who are driving, please stay safe. Keep both hands on the wheels. No texting and driving. I want you alert. But inwardly tuning in and listening and letting the wisdom and the information sink into you, your heart, and your spirit on a deep level so you can receive what is here for you today. Because it's not an accident you're tuning in. There is something here for you today, and I want you able to receive it. But those of you who are able to, I want you to put both feet on the ground. Center your body. Sit in your seat. Let that chair support you. And take a deep breath through your nose. Expanding your belly, making it as big as you can. And then breathe out through your mouth. Like through a straw. I'm going to keep breathing in that manner. When we do that, it lowers our cortisol level. It brings us very present, open, and ready to receive. Go ahead and put one hand on your heart. Keep breathing. Breath is good. One hand on your head. Bringing all of you in, mind, body, soul, and spirit. Go ahead and close your eyes. And I just want to ask you a couple questions as you're listening in, breathing. Wonderful. Eyes closed, you're safe. What is it that you need today? When we're talking about being a star in your life, center stage, is there something that comes up in your life? Looking at perhaps an area you're not shining in right now, you're not fully being present in. Just see. It's no judgment. It's just information. Is there something, as we look at these things, that you need? What will support you and encourage you, equip and empower you to shine, to step into that center stage of your life, to fully be in your life? What is it you need? And the second part of that question is, what are you willing to receive? Are you willing to receive that thing that you need? There needs to be a willingness. Just feel in. And try to find those things, that information that intersects that with the I'm willing to receive and I need, that crosses both of those points. Just receive that information once you have it. Take another big breath. Go ahead and come back into the room. Eyes open, alert, fully present. And I encourage you to write down whatever it is that was placed on your heart that you need, that will encourage you, that will equip you and empower you. Let's keep it top of mind. It is so easy in the busyness of life to get distracted and forget what we need. And then often we don't recognize it when it's right in front of us. So be open to receiving that you need. Be leaning in with anticipation and expectation, open to whatever form that thing that you need comes to you. Be willing to receive it and be on the lookout for it. And hopefully today, in our time together, you will actually have some of what you need come to you. Encouragement, inspiration, the next steps, wisdom, ideas, or an experience of being connected, whatever it is. We seek to bring that to you today. So take another breath. Wonderful. And we're going to go around our virtual room here and ask our guests what was laid on their heart when we took a moment to pause and listen and receive that information. Margo, I was wondering if you had something placed on your heart when we paused for a moment and listened.
Thank you, Rebecca. I had my hand on my heart and was realizing how important silent times are and how hard it is to find places that are quiet. And I'm also just hoping that where I am right now stays quiet. I see landscapers wandering in the background. I'm like, no! I'm like, dear God, no. So, I mean, I was praying for silence when I see these trucks pulling up behind me, and you truly helped join me in prayer for silence.
Beautiful.
So silence really brings me nurturance and helps me come back to feeling good when something has been upsetting.
Beautiful. I love that. That stillness and silence is so powerful. And we will lift up that intention that it does stay silent, but we will also find a way to find that silence even in the noise and chaos.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Margo. I appreciate you sharing. Beautiful. And Chad, how about you? Did you have something laid on your heart?
Yeah, well, I think for me right there, it was the breathing. I think this has been one of those days where I'm trying to do a million things at once. And so it always gives me a little anxiety. And so I think just taking the time to take some deep breaths and focus on what I've accomplished and take things one step at a time rather than, I think sometimes we always just try to do everything at once. And so taking some breaths and, trying not to do more than you're capable of, I think is sometimes helpful.
Oh, I love this. Thank you for sharing. And I think that is so true. We can add a lot on our plate and we can get caught up in the doing, and that can cause some great anxiety. So just remembering to breathe in that and find some moments of stillness and breath can make all the difference. So beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Chad. I appreciate you sharing. And listeners, what's laid on your heart? Are you finding that it's difficult sometimes to find that stillness and that quiet space? Even within, sometimes it can be silent without, but we can have that chaos inside. So are you finding you're seeking out that stillness? Or is it being able to breathe because there's so much going on? I want to invite you throughout our show today to really take moments of stillness and breath. That as we go through the show, we've actually built in these amazing 2-minute moments. They're disguised as commercial breaks, and we have wonderful things we share about in those commercials. But I also encourage you to stay present. Try to resist running off and crossing things off your to-do list. It will pull your energy and mind away and add things to your plate. If you can really stay focused, take those breaths, take those 2 minutes just for you to breathe, to process what's being placed on your heart and your spirit today as we come together, you will be able to move forward at the end of the show in a really powerful way because you've processed real time. You've given yourself that gift of breaks and pauses 2 minutes at a time throughout our show. So I invite you to do that. And in fact, right now, we have one of those 2-minute moments. I want to encourage you to keep in this space of what's being laid on your heart, what it is that you need today and are willing to receive, and really breathe that in the stillness and quietness of these next 2 minutes. We'll look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
Tune in to the Just Jan TV show at justjantvshow.com. Visionary women's leader Jan Jorgensen is inspiring, practical, and visionary. Jan brings us everyday transformational emerging leaders, courageously changing the world by speaking and living their truth. Sit around the table with us for profound feminine wisdom, insights, and connection. Be sure to join us at justjantvshow.com. New episodes are every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Pacific Time at justjantvshow.com.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes just for you, that we're going to build that muscle of being still, of listening, receiving, and processing. I find when we do that, by the end of 30 seconds to a minute, we can look at things a little bit differently and make decisions on purpose and with purpose. It stops that automatic running of your life or the next thing when we can pause and breathe. So I encourage you, practice building that muscle throughout our show today. Well, we are transitioning to have a deeper conversation with one of our amazing experts. You got to hear from his heart in real time what was placed there when we went into this quiet moment together. And I wanted to give you a more formal introduction so you know some of his background and the type of expertise that we're going to be tapping into with our conversation today. So Chad Austin is a best-selling author, featured in the KC Fitness magazine. He's a fitness leader and owner of Priority Fitness. He is passionate, and I mean that with a capital P, passionate about helping you become fit. And I want to add, he does it with great humor, passion, and expertise. Please lean in and welcome the amazing Chad Austin to the show. Welcome.
Thanks for having me on.
You're welcome, Chad. Glad to have you here. And as we get into our conversation here, because I know you have a wealth of knowledge and expertise, and I feel like you have a very creative, real approach to fitness and helping people make that connection. But before we get into that, I wanted to have you share a little bit about why this work about helping people get fit is so personally important to you.
I think mainly it's important I've been in fitness for about 13 years now, and I think the first half of my career, I saw a lot of my clients kind of get on that yo-yoing pattern where they'd get great results and then it would all go away. And so I kind of realized that it's because people are coming to me with short-term motivation, and if I don't only focus on that short-term goal, as soon as that day is over, all their motivation's gone. And so I hated seeing people go through that roller coaster. So I wanted to kind of figure out what that problem was and find out how people can get long-term success. And so it really becomes a priority. And so as that kind of changed and I see the difference in my clients, that's really where my priority has been, just kind of helping people make it a priority like they can their family and their career.
Beautiful. I love that. And can I ask why that bothered you, just on a personal level, why this area of fitness is so important to you? I love that you have seen that problem and you want to help people have long-term success. But why is that personally important to you?
I know it personally. I know it. For me, I think I know I feel the best when I'm in shape. I feel the best when I'm making fitness a priority of myself. I know I feel the best with my confidence level. I feel the best just with my energy and just with my self-esteem, with everything. I feel much better. I know when I'm not making it a priority, I can have anxiety, I can have depression, I can just be tired, I can just not really feel at the top of my game. And so, just night and day difference. And so I know how much it does for me and the family in my life too, my mom and my sister and the rest of my family. I'm seeing them go through a roller coaster pattern. I want them all to be around for a long time. And so fitness has definitely become important seeing them make it a priority too.
Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that personal level, because I think we can all identify with that. And part of us really showing up powerfully in our life is we want to feel good. We want to be confident and connected to our bodies. And the bodies want to be feeling strong and good and taken care of. And we want to feel that way. So having that level of fitness can really help us shine in all areas of our life. So I appreciate you helping us make that connection and look at it that way. Oh, can I also ask you another question? This wasn't on the approved list. Do I have permission?
Oh, that's okay.
Okay, I want to check. I really appreciated a presentation I saw of yours recently, and how you illustrated almost this fight that takes place. Do you mind sharing a little bit about that on the show today?
Yeah. I mean, my book is subtitled "How to Win the Fight Against Your Excuses." Is make fitness a priority. I think we're so quick to have excuses. I mean, we and that's basically what the fight is. It's against your excuses. And so I always have this experiment, this humbling experiment I have people do, where I have them write down the 5 people in their life who they think have made fitness a biggest priority. So if you're listening at home, you can do this now. Just write down the top 5 people you think has made fitness a priority in their life. And after you think of 5 people, you want to go through their list and think of all the obstacles that they have to overcome to do this. Do they have kids at home? Do they have jobs that give them crazy hours? Do they have to travel for work? Do they have to? Do they have a gym to go to? Do they have a disability? Do they have an injury, an illness? And then after you write this down, then go back through and write down what obstacles you face and compare them. And normally, these people that have made fitness a priority in their life, they face the same obstacles that you do. And all an excuse is just an obstacle that you haven't overcome yet. That's really all it is. And so it's just, we can choose to find an excuse or find a way. And so it's hard for us to realize that. But once we realize that, when we go through that experiment, everyone realizes, well, if they can do it, I can do it. And then it becomes a lot easier.
And I want us to pause for a moment, because you just shared a lot of really powerful information. I want to make sure our listeners heard that. And I just wanted to add also in that when I experienced your presentation, it was like he was acting out this fight and this battle. In this corner, we have this, and in that corner, we have your excuses. And it was really powerful and engaging and fun. And I appreciate it. So I don't know if I've ever shared that with you, Chad, but I appreciated that and your approach to that. And it was very engaging, and it was a way to look at things outside of yourself a little bit, which I thought was really, really powerful. So just for those of you who are wondering, what's this fight about? I wanted to explain that. And then I love how you gave us this great activity. So I encourage all of our listeners, do that activity. Write those 5 people down. And when we go to our commercial break, it'll be coming up here. That's a great time to dig into that activity a little bit. A wonderful, wonderful way to look at it and look at the obstacles and just check in and see. And Chad, I love how you said an excuse is an obstacle you just haven't overcome yet. Really powerful. And it's either you can have the excuse or you can find a way through. Like, we have choice in that. So beautiful, beautiful, Chad. I really appreciate all of your information that you were sharing. And I have this huge passion, I know, to help people stop the yo-yo. You talked about that fitness yo-yo, have this longer view. Do you have a tip or some ways that people can start doing that?
Yeah, well, it all starts with probably a lot of the things that you say sometimes. That fitness is no different. It starts with a why. Your fuel comes from your why. You have to understand. So the problem with the short-term goal is that all your why, all your motivation comes with that day. And so all the sacrifices you make, where, I mean, we don't love to work out. I mean, let's face it, hardly anybody loves to work out. We don't go to work out because we love to, or we don't choose to eat healthy food because we love to instead of donuts. We do it because we want to improve our quality of life. We do it for the motivation to feel better. But then if we make all those sacrifices for this day and then the event is over, there's no way we're going to keep making those sacrifices because we don't have the motivation to do it. And so you have to find a deeper reason why it's important to you. And so for my mom, for example, hers is she wants to be an active grandma. She wants to be, we weren't able to be. She wasn't able to be one on a ski trip before with my nephews, and that when she realized that, it changed everything. She became more conscious of what she ate and how active she was, because she wants to be able to be active with my nephews for as long as she can. Mm-hmm. And so now that reason is her driving fuel whenever she doesn't want to go to the gym or doesn't want to be active or doesn't want to eat right.
Beautiful. I love it because it's really tapping into that deeper why, not an event we're going to that we want to look a certain way for, but really looking at long-term how we want to be in our life and remembering that, tapping into what matters to us and our deeper why. Really, really powerful. And as our time is coming to a close here, I know it goes very, very quickly. I know that you've prepared an amazing gift for our listeners, and I'll let them know how to access it and get all of that information, but I'd love for you to share what your amazing gift is.
And
do you need a reminder? I can remind.
My little reminder, actually. What was the gift I gave you guys?
Sure. So let me share about his free gift. It is no worries. It's a signed copy of your best-selling book, Make Fitness a Priority, How to Win the Fight Against Your Excuses. And you're going to send a copy to the winner. Do you mind sharing just a little bit about that?
Yeah, so my book, Make Fitness a Priority, How to Win the Fight Against Your Excuses, it was a bestseller on Amazon when it came out. But what I'm really proud about is my circle of fitness friends and so many fitness people that know me and some that don't have any idea who I am. They all mark it as, they put their name behind it as a book that is a great guide to make fitness a priority in your life. And so if you're struggling with some motivation, you'll get it from this book. If you're struggling from just getting your mind right, you'll get it from this book. If you're struggling just to get started, you'll get it from this. And so it's a really quick, easy read, and you'll be motivated, and it'll just help you kind of get started.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for making that gift available to all of our listeners today. We so appreciate that. And listeners, as we go into our next commercial break here, I encourage you to take the time to pause, as we've been talking about, in breathing, and really think about what Chad has been sharing with you and what's been laid on your heart, and make that list of 5 people and the excuses, and just look at that and your life and see if there are some parallels there, and if you're able to tap into your deeper why as you're looking at all of this. And then you have the opportunity to lean into his amazing gift and get that support. I'll let you know how to access that gift and many more at the end of our show, so stay tuned, and we'll look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes just for you. And then you got a moment to breathe and get some insight about are you tapping into your why and kind of where you want to be with your fitness? And what I loved about some of Chad's shares is it applies to many areas of our life. Those things where we're getting stuck or we're running into obstacles, are we willing to find a way through? And frequently, I find that's by tapping into our why. So I encourage you to develop that practice. And I love his activity of writing the 5 names down. I think we can use that in many areas of our life to really help us step forward and shine powerfully. Oh, beautiful. Well, we have another amazing expert today that's going to talk about this. It can be a little bit more tender side of things when we're looking at grieving and loss, and how do we treat ourselves kindly and really navigate through that. So we have an opportunity today as we're looking at shining in our life and really fully being all that we are called to be, to tap into an expert in this. So let me introduce Margo Rose a little bit more officially. You got to hear some of her heart in the beginning segment, but I want to dig into her professional background a little bit as well. So Margo Rose is a fitness trainer, author, a podcast host, and she's the creator of a self-care system I'm calling it self-care. Is it a system, Margo Rose? I want to make sure I'm saying that correctly.
Yes, it's a self-care system.
Beautiful. Thank you. A self-care system called Body Aware Grieving that helps people avoid accidents, injuries, and stress-related setbacks during times of loss and grief. She is passionate about helping you live fully in all of this so that you can navigate through grieving in a really powerful way. Please lean in and warmly welcome the amazing Margo Rose to the show. Welcome.
Rebecca, you are so awesome. I love your energy. And thank you so much for setting up a perfect show. Chad's fitness messages go so well. I was writing down what he said about the fitness roller coaster, and I've seen such the similar thing as well. And especially when people go through a divorce or a divorce or a caregiving situation or the loss of something they care about, their fitness can very often start to decline. So just adding on to everything Chad said, what I would always start with my clients is I would say you can't start getting better until you stop getting worse. Like if we can keep ourselves from declining in fitness during the hard times, it'll be that much easier to go and feel good and great when we can really put our resources into those good times. We won't have slid back as far. And that's really why Body Aware Grieving was invented, just through the practice of not losing as much good health during hard times. So I just thought that was a really nice match that you put Chad and I together.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to have you both come together and share. And I love, that's what I look for in shows. So listeners who are wondering that, I really look for guests combined together that can create a really powerful message and synergy from different perspectives to support all of us in moving forward on purpose and with purpose. So I'm glad mission is accomplished, Margo Rose. So thank you for being here and being part of this. And I want to just highlight a couple of things you shared because I think they're really, really powerful. And I want to make sure the listeners hear it a couple of times. And I loved how you shared this concept of kind of stopping the decline, stop getting worse before you can get better. I think that's really, really profound, something to write on the mirror, to write in a note, to keep in front of us, because I find sometimes when things get hard or people, quote unquote, fall off the wagon in some way, some area, it's like they just give up the fight and just go, if I'm going to have 5 cookies, I may as well have the whole bag. Like they don't stop. They just kind of give it all, and it's all or nothing. So I love this concept of maybe recognizing that there's a decline, and let's stop the decline so that we can kind of hold ground and move forward when we can. I think that's really powerful.
Mm-hmm. Can I add an extra
please.
quote I like to throw around? I also would tell people and remind them that the only way to solve any long-term problem is to make it through today safely.
Say it one more time. I want everyone to hear that.
The only way to solve any long-term problem is to make it through today safely.
Beautiful. And I love how that ties together with what Chad was sharing too about the long-term focus, but you are in today. And by taking it a day at a time towards our long-term goals is beautiful. And sometimes if we can remember to pause, I even find sometimes, Margo Rose, I'm training myself, Margo Rose, that when things are really hard, sometimes I can even take it by the minute or by the breath. When it's that acute moment and I go, okay, I can take a breath, I can take another one more minute. Do you find I might be alone in that, or is that something you find when people are experiencing a loss or grieving something?
Yeah. Oh, it goes down to the seconds. I mean, 10 seconds can save your life. Like if you're, I mean, basically the reason this is all connected to our bodies and our health is that any strong emotion can influence our ability to function. So can we concentrate? Are we breathing? Are we, if you're really upset about something, if you're not going to multitask, for example, as successfully. So 10 seconds can save your life. If all listeners do is before they get in their car, they spend 10 seconds breathing and relaxing and focusing on only driving safely to their next destination. Like that one message alone could make this, like that from my heart to everybody. Every time you're going to get in your car, spend 10 seconds. I have a ritual where like I put on my driving gloves and I really take that moment to go, okay, none of my problems are going to be any better by having a car accident right now. I really have to just only do one thing well right now. And that pause of 10 seconds before any activity, especially if it's challenging, can really literally save lives. So yeah, it does go down to the second. Absolutely. I agree with you, Rebecca, 100%.
Oh, thank you for sharing that. And I hope everyone made a note of that, the 10-second challenge or 10-second activity that we can incorporate into our lives before every activity, before getting into that car, can save lives. And I also think can really help us be purposeful in how we're choosing to spend those 10 seconds, how we're choosing to spend what follows those 10 seconds. So really, really powerful share, Margo Rose. I appreciate that. Beautiful. Now, I want to ask a couple questions here. And we've kind of gotten into the content, so I'm thinking about which direction I want to go. I'd love to actually take a moment to have you share why this work of helping people in this way is personally so important to you. I'd love to share that with our listeners.
Why this is meaningful to me, the body-aware grieving. When we use the word grief or loss, we're usually referring to some change or transition in our lives that we didn't prefer. I mean, it's not getting a transition is getting a job or losing a job, but we refer to losing a job or losing something we want as being like something that we might grieve. And most situations like that leave us feeling very powerless. And body-aware grieving is about feeling more empowered. It's saying, what can I do to get through my current situation with the least amount of additional suffering? How can I survive this, and how can I become more prepared and less scared? And so even if you just choose an activity from 5 to 10 to 15 minutes per day that is something you chose, that you find healing or beneficial, it can make people realize that not everything is spinning out of control and that they really do have influence over at least a part of each day. And that can save people mentally. That can really postpone or help people avoid depression that can go along with any of these, challenging life problems or losses or caregiving struggles. Feeling like you can help yourself and others in any kind of way can lift people's spirit and give them the resilience they need to make it through the harder parts. So I don't know if that makes enough sense, but that can be learned. The point is you can learn that, and that's why I like helping people come up with these little tips and techniques.
I think this is really powerful. I can feel your heart and your passion as you're sharing why and how it's been created and how this can make such a a powerful difference in people's lives. So I appreciate that. And I know you have created a powerful gift to support all of our listeners with this very subject, with this very concept that we've been talking about, to help that things not get worse, to move forward, practical steps and tips we can take. Do you mind sharing a little bit about your gift?
Absolutely. And I've written a short practical book called Body Aware Grieving, a fitness trainer's guide to caring for your health during sad times. But a key chapter to the book is something I want to give in an ebook and audio book form for free to any of your listeners or friends of your listeners who might use it. And I call this important technique the 10 actions of healing. Do you want to hear what the 10 actions of healing are?
Well, unfortunately, we don't have time, but I would love, can you share maybe the first 3, and then that'll give them a little bit of a taste? It takes about 10 seconds to say them all. Go for it then.
Really fast. The categories are hibernate, hydrate, commemorate, create, liberate, donate, celebrate, relate, contemplate fate, rejuvenate. And so this gift is helping people know how to create their own healing action plan using whichever of those 10 categories of healing appeals to them and applies to their circumstances.
Beautiful. What a powerful gift. And I love that you make things short and practical because when we're hurting or when we're struggling or in grief, the simpler the better. The next step we can take is very, very supportive. So I really appreciate you sharing and making this generous gift available to all of us. Listeners, we are getting ready to go to our next commercial break. So remember, those are 2 minutes just for you. I encourage you to take a moment to breathe, pause, and process some of what Margo Rose has shared with you. And just check in and see what are some of the things that you can take with you. I'm really going to encourage that 10-second activity before driving or anything else that you're going to do. Really apply that in your life. And I promised I would let you know towards the end of this show how to access all of these gifts. So I'm going to let you know how to do that, but only if you promise to come back for our exciting closing segment. I don't want you to miss anything. So here's how you access both Chad and Margo Rose's amazing gifts. You go to Radio Gifts, and that's with an S, plural, radiogifts.net. You'll find a net full of multiple gifts. You'll simply scroll down to today's show, and you'll see Margo Rose's picture, and you'll see Chad's picture, and to have an opportunity to lean into their gifts. We do ask that you put in your name and email address so we can stay in touch, and you'll find this amazing library of gifts. You'll see some from me as well to support you on your journey. Feel free to peruse, lean in, say yes to as many as will support you on your journey. We'll look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
Tune in to the Just Jan TV show at justjantvshow.com. Visionary women's leader Jan Jorgensen is inspiring, practical, and visionary. Jan brings us everyday transformational emerging leaders, courageously changing the world by speaking and living their truth. Sit around the table with us for profound feminine wisdom, insights, and connection. Be sure to join us at justjantvshow.com. New episodes are every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Pacific Time at justjantvshow.com.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm so glad you came back. I hope you enjoyed all of those amazing gifts. But I'm very excited to have you joining us for this final segment. This is a time where we get to kind of connect back heart to heart, enjoy each other a little bit, and then have some great words of wisdom to take forward with us as we go back out into the world. So thank you for joining us for the show, being part of this journey. And I thought it would be fun if we played a little game with our guests here today. And they both said yes. I asked them behind the scenes if they would play a game with me, and they kind of chuckled and said yes, but I didn't tell them what it would be. So they are entrusting me in this game. And I call it where I say a word, and then you share the first word that comes into your mind, and we'll go one at a time. And it's just a way to kind of see what's top of mind, top of heart, as we have processed today's show and get to know you in a more playful way as well. Now, Chad, when I say blue, what comes to mind?
Eyes.
Oh, beautiful. And listeners, you can play along. I want to see what words come to your minds too. So beautiful. Okay. And I say fitness.
What?
Fitness.
Priority.
Okay, beautiful. Let's see. Working out.
Fun.
Family.
Important.
Okay. Worldwide impact. That's 3 words.
Worldwide impact.
Mm-hmm.
Change.
Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yay, Chad. Wonderful. Wonderful. You know, what came to mind with worldwide impact was world domination, but I wanted to add for good. So that's what popped into my mind in spirit. It was kind of made me laugh. Wonderful. Okay. So listeners, we're going to go to our next round here with our amazing Margo Rose. So when I say green, what comes to mind?
Vibrant.
Ooh, I like that. Fitness.
Functional.
Okay, grief.
Natural.
And let's say health.
Important.
Okay. And worldwide impact.
Hooray!
Wonderful. Okay, and then here's the final round. I'm going to say a word, and then you can both say the word that pops into your mind. So let's say growth.
Rebecca!
Yay! I like that.
Empowerment.
Oh, love that. Love that. Ooh, let's say that. Empowerment.
Empowerment.
Health.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Health.
Health. Yep, I love it. And Margo Rose, I missed your word.
Oh. I'm still excited about empowerment. I'm looking forward to going to your next Women's Empowerment Series. I was just writing down the dates of your next Women's Empowerment Series, and I'm going to go sign up for it after the show. So I was still on empowerment. So unless I missed something, I'm like thinking about your next great workshop that I'm going to. So.
Oh, I love that. And she's not a plant. That was authentic. Thank you, Margo Rose. I appreciate that. And then let's see. The final word is connection.
Heart.
Beautiful.
Connection. Teamwork.
Teamwork. Okay, beautiful.
I like that.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And in 30 seconds or less, I'd love to have each share a powerful tip, thought, or idea, something that they can take with them as they go back out into the world. Chad, you're up.
If you just take away one thing from me today, I hope it is that it all starts with why. That if you want to get long-term success, you have to have a big reason why.
Oh, love it. Beautiful, beautiful. Margo Rose.
I'm looking at my second hand. Yeah, I would say transition rituals as a tool to get through your day more safely. So I would look at the different important parts of your day and find like from 5 to 10 minute activities that help you stay calm and neutral and focused. So when you leave your house but before you go to your job, or when you go to visit someone who's sick and you go to start seeing your family again, before or after any challenging activity, if you leave yourself time for a little neutral activity that brings you enjoyment and clarity, your day will just feel better, I think, and definitely be safer.
Powerful. I love that. Thank you both for those important reminders and tips as we go back out into the world. I have so enjoyed you coming to the show and spending time with us today. Thank you both for being here and being
pleasure.
part of this. And listeners, thank you for being with us today. And I want to remind you, you are amazing. You're beautifully, wonderfully made, exactly needed exactly as you are. So be willing to share the gift of who you are. Be willing to shine. I hope you took some great tips and tools and steps to support you in being equipped and empowered, bringing forward those things that matter most to you. And just as you go back out into the world, I want you to remember, wherever you go, whatever you do, may you always, always be willing to bloom where you are planted and shine. Have an amazing week, everyone. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter, next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Women's Channel. And join us for a replay of the show every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.